International relations now they've never been so unstable as what they are at the present time. Like in the case of Venezuela. John Bolton is determined not only to get rid of Maduro, not even to get rid of the regime in Venezuela. The term they use is regime change. And he actually said earlier on this year, there's going to be a regime change in Venezuela, in Cuba, and in Nicaragua. What more can you want? 3 for the price of 1. That a revolution should continue for 22 years is without being overthrown. That does show the enormous support that the revolution had among the masses. I say had. But for reasons that we explained, we predicted in advance. I told Chavez myself many times. And I've said so publicly on television, and the radio, and the press, the mass meetings of workers and so on. Years ago, the Bolivarian Revolution has got 2 alternatives. Either we finish the revolution, we expropriate the landlords and capitalists, carry through the revolution, and then carry it through to the rest of Latin America. Or the revolution will go down to defeat as night follows day. Either we finish them or they will finish us, as simple as that. You know, I knew Chavez quite well. And I will say this, in his favor, Chavez was the nearest thing that I've ever seen to a centrist. He came close to it. I'm certain he really wanted to carry through the socialist revolution. But he did not understand how it was to be done. He was surrounded by all kinds of corrupt Stalinist gangsters. That's what they were. That's what they are. And the fact is that he failed to do what was necessary. And therefore he cannot escape his responsibility. Unfortunately, the man is dead, but he failed to carry it through. And the result was inevitable. All of history shows that you cannot make half a revolution. You can't have half state-owned and half private economy. It cannot work. That's a finished recipe for chaos. And chaos is exactly what you have now in Venezuela. Aggravated by terrible corruption, a terrible degree of corruption, of the regime itself, which has undermined, largely undermined the support. The masses are desperate, it's clear. Preparing the way for counter-revolution, of course. But what is astonishing, after all this time, is that they failed. They've consistently failed. Now, the latest attempt, I don't know whether Guaido was deceiving Bolton or whether Bolton was deceiving Guaido, I don't know. Or both. But Bolton was constantly making statements, oh, it's going to be overthrown, he can't last, the military is going to rise up, and so on. Didn't happen. It failed. It was a humiliating defeat for America. Now, supposing that John Bolton was a rational human being, which is supposing a lot, what would you do? Surely you'd kind of retreat, wouldn't you? Surely you'd back off. Not John Bolton. There's only one thing for it. We'll have to invade. Military intervention. They just burnt their fingers in Afghanistan and Syria and Iraq. He wants to invade Venezuela. There was a meeting of the Pentagon in which he put forward this very reasonable plan. The generals were astounded. I mean, their jaws dropped. And when they recovered, one admiral got up, banged the table hard, and said, "No!" That's what he shouted, "No!" I think that was the end of that particular discussion. But John Bolton's not a man to be discouraged. And he thought, if I can't have a war in Venezuela, Cuba, and Nicaragua, I'll have to have a war somewhere else. Iran.